Good evening. I'm Bruce Harold, president of the university. I have the distinct pleasure and honor of welcoming all of you to tonight's magnificent ceremony. Graduates, let me be the first of what I know will be many, many, many people tonight, over the weekend, and for the weeks ahead to congratulate you on your incredible accomplishments. Now, I'd like to also remind our graduates, as I'm sure they probably already know, that they didn't get here alone. This is a significant achievement in their lives, and all of you, and many who are not here this evening, contributed to making this happen. Graduates, if you don't mind, would you please stand and give everyone a big round of applause for all that they've done to get you here. You see, all of you in the audience think that they did all the work. And those up here know how much you did. Please, you can sit down. Thank you. They know how much work you did to get them here, keep them here, encourage them, support them in so many different ways. Graduates, I'd also like you to never forget that issue of that moment of standing and thanking, and never forgetting that the people here this evening helped get you to this stage. We all in our lives need support. We all need someone who lifts us up and gives us that moment of and word of encouragement. As you go on your careers this evening, never forget to look back and help those who need help. Graduates, you've worked with your mentors and other faculty members to contribute significantly to your research and our research. Many of you have taught classes, not only honing your own teaching skills, but also contributing to our students with fresh perspective and the latest knowledge. And you've contributed greatly as well to our broader community. You've contributed to our university, our local organizations, whether it be in generous public service or engagement. In sharing your knowledge and creativity with others or in any other way, you've added immensely to our university, our county, our state, and we expect a lot from you moving forward. You're at the front range of change. The areas that you've studied are significantly different than just a decade ago. I dare say the rate of change in most of your areas is in fact accelerating. We're certain that you're prepared for that change. In many cases, many of you are adding to that change as we continue to explore new knowledge. You're well prepared to deal with it and to adapt to it, and I'm confident that you'll be at the front edge of that as you move forward. I'd also like to remind you, I don't like farewells and goodbyes. I just like see you around the corner. We expect you to stay connected with us. You're very much a part of us and have been for the last several years. We expect you to continue to keep us in your lives, call home when you need help, and let us know how you're doing. Please know that your work while you are here will always remain here. You are now indelibly part of us. We expect a lot from you, and please know that you will always have advocates here for your success. Our heartfelt congratulations, good luck, best wishes, and most importantly, please know as you receive your degrees this evening, we are very, very proud of you. You've earned every bit of it. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Good evening. And on behalf of the Graduate College, I am delighted to greet all of those who have gathered here this evening to celebrate this important occasion. I hope that all of the graduate degree candidates will enjoy this ceremony, which marks a very special and significant moment in your lives and in the lives of your families and friends. We are delighted to have this occasion to celebrate the learning and the accomplishments of the degree recipients with those closest to them, those who have nurtured, encouraged, and supported them through the exciting but often very stressful process of obtaining a graduate degree. Your devotion to these graduating students is so important, and we are so pleased that you're here today to join us. I would like to thank the Iowa Brass Collective for the music that we have enjoyed thus far this evening. They're sitting right up here to my right. Members of the quintet are Dr. Amy Schindel and Mr. Evan Fowler on trumpet, Mr. Kosum Dolakanunen on horn, Mr. Caleb Lambert on trombone, and Dr. John Manning on tuba. Thank you again for being with us tonight. Scotty Van Eisingham, to my right, is serving as the sign language interpreter for our ceremony. She will be interpreting most portions of the ceremony, but because of the number of the graduates, she will not sign the graduates' names. I would like to now introduce to you my colleagues on the stage who represent the various colleges and programs from which today's graduates have matriculated. First, I'd like to reintroduce President Harold, who will assist me with the conferring of the degrees. Adrian Wing, Associate Dean in the College of Law. Daniel Trinnell, Associate Dean in the Carver College of Medicine. Amanda Hartling-Tyne, Associate Dean in the College of Education. Michael Duffel, Associate Dean in the College of Pharmacy. Julie Zerwig, the Dean of the College of Nursing. Larry Weber, the Executive Associate Dean in the College of Engineering. Thomas Vaughn, Associate Dean in the College of Public Health. And Amy Christoph Brown, Executive Dean in the Tippie College of Business. Christine Getz, Associate Dean in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. David Johnson, the Dean of the College of Dentistry, will assist in the hooding of the doctoral degree candidates. Michelle Campo is Associate Dean of the Graduate College, and she will announce the doctoral degree recipients. Charles Connerly, the Director and Professor of the School of Urban and Regional Planning, will announce the master's degree recipients. Professors Mary Catherine Cowles and Daniel Matheson are serving as our faculty marshals, and I would like to take this opportunity to recognize and thank all of the members of the graduate faculty who are seated amongst the students who have chosen to participate in this graduation ceremony. Would the graduate faculty please rise? Your contribution and participation tonight in their dedication to the lives of our students is so important, and your participation today is very much appreciated. Thank you very much for being here. The candidates for doctoral degrees will now be recognized and inducted into the Academy of Men and Women who have demonstrated the highest level of achievement and independent scholarship and creativity in their various disciplines. As they are introduced, faculty members will perform a hooding ceremony, and where possible, the dissertation advisor and collegiate representatives will assist in performing the hooding ceremony. To the gown that each candidate is wearing will be added a hood to complete their academic costume. The University of Iowa hoods are black and gold, trimmed in colors representing the degrees conferred. Green for those receiving the Doctor of Physical Therapy, pink for those receiving the Doctor of Musical Arts, and dark blue for those receiving the traditional Doctor of Philosophy degrees. Now we come to the most important part of the program, the moment at which we recognized each degree recipient. I'll be joined today by President Harold, who will assist in the conferral of the degrees. And as we move through the ceremony, in order that each graduate's name may be clearly heard, please hold your applause until all of the doctoral graduates have been introduced, and then again when all of the master's degree students have been introduced, and we will give each group a round of full applause. And after the conferring of the degrees, we hope that you will remain seated until the completion of the recessional. Thank you very much. Would the doctoral degree candidates please rise? President Harold, these candidates have completed all of the requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Doctor of Physical Therapy, and are recommended to you by the faculty of the Graduate College for the conferral of these degrees.
On recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate College and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer on each of you the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, Doctor of Physical Therapy, as qualified and designated. Congratulations.
The doctoral recipients, please be seated and then come up to be recognized individually.
Ying Liu, Statistics, will be hooded by Mary Catherine Cowles. Jesse Hamer, Mathematics, Keiko Kawamoro will be assisting with the hooding. Sheikhdar Hoke, Computer Science. Shukumar Ghosh will be assisting with the hooding. Courtney Donahue, Chemistry. Scott Daly will be assisting with the hooding. Anastasia Blake, Chemistry. Dr. Scott Daly will again be assisting with the hooding. Eric Sletton, Chemistry. Professor Pidge will be assisting with the hooding. Jennifer Bayer, Psychology. Professor Mike O'Hara will be assisting with the hooding. Hang T. Tuyat Win, Musicology. Professor Marion Wilson Kimber will assist with the hooding. Sarah Lucas, Musicology. Professor Getz will be assisting with the hooding. Wenying Shi, Chemistry. Professor Getz will be assisting with the hooding. Viral Tajani, Speech and Hearing Science. Professor Carolyn Brown will assist with the hooding. Michael Lash, Computer Science. Professor Nick Street will assist with the hooding. Renanthony Edmonds, Mathematics. Professor Philip Kutso will assist with the hooding. Oh, you're coming back? Okay. Young, Applied Math and Computational Sciences, Professor Philip Kutsu will assist with the hooding. Nathaniel Shaffer, Physics. Professor Scott Balrud will assist with the hooding. Eric Tweet, Biology. Professor John Logsdon will assist with the hooding. Dane Teepole, American Studies. Professor Tom Oates will assist with the hooding. Yun Soo Jung, Economics. Professor David Friswold will assist with the hooding. Andrea Holcombe, Epidemiology. Professor Robert Wallace will assist with the hooding. Ching Lee, Biostatistics. Professor Gideon Zamba will assist with the hooding. Joe, Civil and Environmental Engineering. Professor Drew Latta will assist with the hooding. Jar J. Xian, Chemical and Biochemical Engineering. Professor David Swartney will assist with the hooding. Benjamin King, Chemical and Biochemical Engineering. Professor Jennifer Fiegel will assist with the hooding. Babak Hajiji, Mechanical Engineering. Professor Getz will assist with the hooding. Syed Hajat Majidi, Mechanical Engineering. Professor Getz will assist with the hooding. Nancy Barth, Civil and Environmental Engineering. Professor Gabriela Villarini will assist with the hooding. Chad Walter Drake, Civil and Environmental Engineering. Professor Larry Weber will assist with the hooding. Matthew Cover, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Professor Tom Schnell will assist with the hooding. Joel Tosado, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Professor Guadalupe Canahuta will assist with the hooding. Yui Tien, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Professor Guadalupe Canahuta will assist with the hooding. Yasir Mohsen, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Professor Matthew Jacob will assist with the hooding. Samir Al-Jalawai, Civil and Environmental Engineering. Professor Salam Ramatullah will assist with the hooding. Eric Frick, Biomedical Engineering, and Professor Ramatullah will again assist with the hooding. Aaron Goddard, Biomedical Engineering. Professor Joseph Reinhardt will assist with the hooding. Sarah Gerard, Biomedical Engineering. Professor Reinhardt will again assist with the hooding. Jacob Herman, Biomedical Engineering. Professor David Casca will assist with the hooding. Catherine Fiala, Nursing. Professor Rakel will assist with the hooding. Erica Davison, Nursing. Professor Elizabeth Swanson will assist with the hooding. Jacob Poliski, Pharmacy. Professor Kevin Rice will assist with the hooding. Tawny Chamberlain, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Professor Noel Estrada Hernandez will assist with the hooding. Taryn Richardson, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Professor John Wadsworth will assist with the hooding. Andrew Drew Beer, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations. Professor Armida Wojciak will assist with the hooding. Ethan Valentine, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations. Professor Benjamin Devane will assist with the hooding. Kristen Worster, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations. Her father, Professor Dale Worster, will assist with the hooding. Rebecca Hawbaker, Teaching and Learning. Professor Sean Daychuk will assist with the hooding. Johnny Cruz Corchada, Genetics. Professor Joseph Comarin will assist with the hooding. Thomas James, Neuroscience. Professor Andrew Frank will assist with the hooding. Jacob Rysted, Neuroscience. Professor Yuri Usachev will assist with the hooding. Katherine Hall, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations. Professor Tammy Wilgenbush will assist with the hooding. Kevin Bush, Molecular Medicine. Professor Richard Smith will assist with the hooding. Erica Damon, Interdisciplinary Studies. Professor Barbara Eckstein will assist with the hooding. Jada Bittle, Neuroscience. Professor Hannah Stevens will assist with the hooding. Eric Ulwinmana, Human Toxicology. Professor Hans Lemler will assist with the hooding. Daniel Kelpsch, Molecular Medicine. Professor Tina Tootle will assist with the hooding. Lalita Untornpun, Biochemistry. Professor Eric Taylor will assist with the hooding. Steve Glenn, Molecular Medicine. Professor Pamela Geyer will assist with the hooding. Katherine Perschbacher, Molecular Medicine. Professor Justin Groby will assist with the hooding. Jennifer Welch, Microbiology. Professor Jack Stapleton will assist with the hooding. Amber Amber Vu, microbiology. Professor Richard Roller will assist with the hooding. Paige Clues, free radical and radiation biology. Professor Doug Spitz will assist with the hooding. Nathaniel Filippelli, music. Professor Tim Slater will assist with the hooding. He told me. Coyheen Samuel Kwok, music. Professor Tim Stalter will assist with the hooding. Janet Bream Ziegler, music. Professor Susan Jones will assist with the hooding. John Cummins, music. Professor Getz will assist with the hooding. Don't move. Helen Thrall, music. Professor Getz will assist with the hooding. Yuhan Kwan, music. Professor Scott Conklin will assist with the hooding. Alexander Panomarchuk, music. Professor John Rapson will assist with the hooding. John Donovan, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Sciences. Professor Darren Casey and Richard Shields will be assisting with the hooding. Christopher Crone, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Again, Darren Casey and Richard Shields will participate in the hooding. Ryan Johnson, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Sciences. Darren Casey and Richard Shields. Karen Caduce, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Sciences. Darren Casey and Richard Shields will hood. Caitlyn Kincart, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Sciences. Again, Darren Casey and Richard Shields will hood. Brenna Wetzel, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Sciences. Paige Lassen, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Sarah Kemp, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Lauren Cass, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Calista Beyer, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Kelsey Kleekan, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Salomon Elostaz, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Sarah Hahn, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Paige Polonus, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Lucas Thompson, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Jordan Smith, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Lauren Mays, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. She will be hooded by Richard Shields and Stacy DeYoung. Caitlin Berger, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Catherine Helmlinger, Physical Therapy. Abigail Drexler, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Jared Hannes, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Nicholas Nielsen, Physical Therapy. Michael Doring, Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. Elizabeth Halber, Physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Lily Gasway, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. She'll be hooded by Richard Shields and Laura Fry-Law. Paige Kelly, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Kelly Brufka, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Seth Ben-Dixon, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Austin Kramer, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Aliyah Hoskins, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Megan Struck, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. She'll be hooded by Kathleen Sluka and Richard Shields. Alex Ferrer, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Collin Schrader, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Sonja Gilbertson, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Caitlyn Schug, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Kristen Bolin, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Ellison Garmager, physical therapy and rehabilitation science. Annie Sullivan, physical therapy and rehabilitation science.
Let's offer some congratulations to these wonderful doctoral students. Would the candidates for all of our master's degrees please rise? President Harold, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Accountancy, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Computer Science, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Health Administration, Master of Public Health, Master of Science, Master of Science in Nursing, Master of Social Work, and Master of Laws, and are recommended to you by the faculty of the Graduate College for the conferral of these degrees.
On recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate College and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer on each of you the degree Master of Arts, Master of Accountancy, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Computer Science, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Health Administration, Master of Public Health, Master of Science, Master of Science in Nursing, Master of Social Work, Master of Laws, as qualified and designated. Congratulations.
Would our master's degree recipients please come forward to be recognized individually?
Andrew Federer, Sport and Recreation Management. Brock Baumert, Sport and Recreation Management. Andrew Schnobelen, Sport and Recreation Management. Parker A. Hess, Sport and Recreation Management. Hesse, excuse me. Thomas B. Harder, Sport and Recreation Management. Jacob Flathers, Sport and Recreation Management. Broderick Binns, Sport and Recreation Management. Marissa Gatgow, Music. Ashley Flores, Chemistry. Holly Stevenson, Philosophy. Trudi Starbeck-Miller, Art. Mitchell Taylor, Accounting. Dylan Taylor, Accounting. William Converse, Accounting. Lisa Kraus, Business Analytics. Sandhanam Ganapathy, Business Analytics. Zachary Aboud, Business Analytics. Jason Miller, Health Management and Policy. Zachary Brennan, Health Management and Policy, MBA, dual degree. Kyler Sorensen, Health Management and Policy, well, also with an MBA. Aaron Morse, Health Management and Policy, MBA. Amy Bonner, Epidemiology. Emily Adam, Epidemiology. Ong Nguyen, Community and Behavioral Health. Sohaila Alaj Suleiman, Pharmacy. Amanda Dunphy, Teaching and Learning. Tracy Jarrett, Teaching and Learning. Ashley Hoyer, Teaching and Learning. Angela Ramey, Teaching and Learning. Alexis Madsen, Chemistry. John Kaler, Teaching and Learning. Su Huang Lee, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations. Ali Betcher, Strategic Communication. Jennifer McEwen, Strategic Communication. Marisa Tank, Strategic Communication. Day and Night, Brain Sciences. Diamond Quay, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Joseph Cooley, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Ethan LeBeau, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Colton Brower, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Sydney Schneckloth, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Hanna Collins, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Kelsey Kofand, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Catherine Sarazin, Rehabilitation and Counselor Education. Garrett Larson, Informatics. Ryan Rancor, Informatics. Jessica Lyle, Urban and Regional Planning. Hayley Lundy, Library and Information Science. Anna Tonsfeld, Library and Information Science. Wei Shi, Informatics. From the College of Engineering, we have Andrea Caceres, Biomedical Engineering. Bakir Hidarevich, Biomedical Engineering. Michael Celino Hug, Electrical Engineering. Sujin Kim, Musical Therapy. Sarah Kangas, Master of Laws. Eunice Kangas, Master of Laws.
Let us offer a round of congratulations to these master's recipients. Thank you, everyone. It's been a privilege for the Graduate College to confer the various degrees on these outstanding degree recipients and to host this commencement ceremony. Our nation and the international community to which many of our graduates belong depends to a large extent on the knowledge and expertise of our graduates to help solve the problems of the world today and into the future. We depend on our graduates to understand the critical role they will play in furthering future knowledge and innovation, economic development around the world, and the hope and desire for international understanding and perspective. The next phase of your lives will bring new challenges and opportunities. And these accomplishments of your graduate careers that have come to fruition today have prepared you to move on to face these challenges with newfound confidence and perseverance. Remember that with the fulfillment of the opportunity to pursue and complete your graduate degrees, you've accomplished something that only about 4% of Americans have attained. With this accomplishment comes great responsibility to address society's thorniest issues, and we have plenty of them, and to make a difference in people's lives. Use these skills and experiences wisely. As you embark on the next phase of your lives, the graduate faculty and the Graduate College extend our best wishes to you, your families, and your friends. Once again, congratulations, and we wish you safe travels. And as President Harold is fond of saying, once a Hawkeye, always a Hawkeye. Have a great evening.